Hi Mansa, good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Rakesh. How are you? Thank you.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine. Thank you for asking. So Mansa, many congratulations to you for getting job in various companies. Right? Would you like to share your success story with the people who are watching this video?
Yeah, definitely, Rakesh, and thanks for that. Yeah, can I start? Yeah,
Right.
how my journey went through and all. So I'll be
Correct.
starting from the yeah. So I'll be mentioning from the starting of the day how I prepared and what I have prepared and what the questions I have got from different companies. So
Mhm.
how I got through all those I'll be discussing. So in that somebody might connect it and they can continue learning in that way. So when I started learning, first of all, I did not attend the interviews directly.
Mhm.
So first of all, what I did from my side, I took 1 month for the preparation only. So being now I am having like 7 years of experience in total. So in which I have the 4 years into manual testing and 2+ years into automation testing. So that way also I have learned and I have used in hands-on in my one of my application. So then I got more knowledge on the automation. So being a 7 years of experience, so the people is expecting. So before the expectations, first of all, I thought I should brush up and I should, in a position to what I have to learn. I made some categories actually. So first, what I've included is so first of all, I went through the manual testing first. So I would like not completely. I went through the questions, coding and all. First of all, being a basic thing, I have to know completely about manual testing. So in the manual testing, I have referred all the the videos and all the whatever the websites we have and all, right? So for what I went through in the manual testing, what is exactly manual testing and the testing types, and that testing types and the different methodologies. Let's say being a tester, from the STLC cycle we have, right? So what it exactly in the requirement analysis, what are the different types of documents we'll have. So in that way, verification, validation, and they come to the test case design. What is the methodology we have? Different techniques we have. So what are the techniques we have, like that? So in that way, in the test execution and exit criteria, entry criteria for each and every phase of the STLC. So likewise, every phase I'll be getting more and more questions there itself. If I elaborate more, and the types of testing, functional and non-functional. What are categories into functional, what we have, non-functional, what we have, what I was involved. I'll be comparing with my current project. Let's say if I don't know, but I'll be getting the knowledge by reading, because everything we cannot do in our company or whatever the application we got, right? So we have to get the more knowledge of the manual testing. That way I completed one part first of all for the manual testing. So then I moved to, so being an automation tester, I'll be expecting automation questions as well. So before that, before going to directly preparing that and the basic code, let's say I was involved in the C sharp. So the basics of C sharp. So what is the exact coding knowledge I required to be automate any application. So that way what I did, again I, let's say I don't know anything, I come from the starting, because I we don't know the basic, they we might get the questions. It depends on the person, right? So we have to be in and the end to end knowledge we have to get. So for that I referred the oops concepts, beginning from the, let's say, some the types of integer or what is it basic, from the basic we have to learn. So that we'll be completing the oops concept and the collections, we need it, because in the selenium we'll come across in the list of web elements, right? So that time we require the set and list. So the set and list I learned. So in the basic program, let's say coming to the basic programs like string, we have to remove one character. So the patterns we have, right? So those I learned. And then coming to the selenium automation, first of all the manual testing and automation, why we move to automation, what is the difference we have, what are the advantages we have, the disadvantages what we have. First we'll make sure that we have this knowledge, and then I move of learning this automation in the basic things we have, right? So in the selenium, coming from starting of the first selenium architecture, what it is exactly, what is WebDriver, what is which and whether it is a class or interface. So if you learn this way, no, whatever the questions put from the interviewer, we are we will be easy to crack it. because we know from the basics. So that way I'll be I have learned this Selenium from the starting of the Selenium architecture to we have the different we have to handle different types of functionality, right? So first I'll be listing down my functionalities. So let's say being it first I'll be logging to this, so that the username and password, how I pass the keys, so then how I click the button, so then how I'll be let's say I'll be going to the next page, how I'll be going to the Windows handling. So in the same page, I have to select some drop downs we'll be having. So how I'll select it. So this I'll be writing this select and different functionalities, whatever we have now. I started learning that way, the code as well, the taking screenshot and until let's say if it is data driven, how you will be reading the Excel. If it is database, how you read the database using this Selenium. And HTML reports, how we'll be using the logs and what we have used and those things in the Selenium. I have prepared this way. And then again also they'll be expecting some APIs. So APIs, what is API? So first of all, again I'll also categorize like manual and automation over here. So being I mean we will be not like we'll be doing the API automation as well. I have an experience with the manual only. So let's not make into more. We can't answer more, right? So whatever we know, we deeply go into the subject and then we learn whatever is required. So automation is completely, I'm not aware with the API. So let's not go to API automation, but let's come to the API manual. What we have in this, what is the response codes we have in it? So what is API? What exactly? Why we have this term? So what is the difference between this API and thing, our normal web testing? Why we are doing this? So what are we getting? I mean, what are we testing exactly in this? What are the response codes? What are the authorization differences we have? What are the tools we have to have this different types of what are the REST APIs? So that way, if we take one subject, no, we are having, we have to categorize such a way that we will be exploring more in each and every point, I believe. So that way I went through API automation. I completely say no, because if I take that part, API automation is like maybe another part, because I didn't even have a chance of hands-on at least. So
Okay.
that even if I learn also, my time will be waste, right? So I limited to these types. And SQL also, being a manual tester, we
Mm.
have to have a knowledge SQL also. Even if you don't have hands-on, you have to learn this SQL, because this easy we can learn, right? So being 7 years means we should have here and there we are asked to do database testing, or kind of not database testing exactly, the fetching queries, at least did manipulation queries like that. Insert how to select the joints, the minimum the joints thing. And we have the different types of what I can say, this limit to using limit top and those the basic queries, not the exactly again deep into SQL.
Mm.
Whatever the information being a tester I can do, that way I categorize again into the SQL questions. So
Mhm.
this way I have prepared for a month actually,
Okay.
not even month. I think I took like 40 days initially. I
Yes.
categorized the subjects like I mentioned. Yeah. And one more, the methodology, coming to the manual testing, these days we are focusing on the agile, right? So if
Agile.
you take the agile also, we are having so many questions actually.
Mhm.
How the starting to sprint planning to sprint to review. So what are the cycles we are, what we are involving, what exactly we are doing in that. So how we are planning the user stories and so again, if we take a agile topic, we're having so many questions and differences like Scrum, Kanban differences we have. So like I have like manual testing, automation testing, and any basic program like Java or C Sharp and SQL. And I think the agile one. What are the methods? We have to know the differences here only. Agile and waterfall. We can't say agile is the best one. So what we have the best and drawbacks we have like
Mm.
waterfall. So that way, if you take any topic, we have to mainly focus on why we are doing this and what are the differences we have, what are the advantage and disadvantage we have. If we frame a question like this for any topic, we'll
Mm.
be going through all the questions here only. We'll be having so many answers here only. So
Mhm.
now I have started giving the interviews like and in the Naukri I have updated. So in every day we have to update our profile to get the calls actually. So
Mm.
then what I did, so in the initial days I didn't even select for one round
Mm.
in the initial days. So because I am because some they are asking more in deep way. So that
Mhm.
I did not in my plan that was not included. Maybe because of that I even cleared first round in some of the interviews. Then with the interviews again I got some knowledge. Okay, this I mean these are the questions we'll be expecting. So again I started preparing. What I'll be collecting the questions actually. So whatever the interview asks for any interview, I'll be listing down in my Excel. So for the next round of interview, right? Again, I'll be my list of questions is increasing, and I'll be getting some more knowledge as well. So with that, and again I started listening your videos, like your videos, and we have others as well. Naveen Automation Lab we have. So I remember 2, 3 or 4 members, including you. I have started listening to your videos. So based on that, how the answer is expecting. I mean, how short we have to crisp and clear we have to give, and some extra knowledge also we have got after listening to your videos. So again we get some knowledge over here. Again we started giving the interviews. Then I started clearing first round and second round, third round. Some I might lose in the third round and second round, but later after 1 month, I have been selecting for all rounds for different companies.
Okay,
So
great.
in such, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, such way I improved myself, because it is like continuous, I can say. We can't prepare and we can't wait for the interview. No, we have to continuously listen to so many videos actually,
Mhm.
different types of questions, I mean to say. So that way, here and there, most of what I have observed after listening to, I mean, attending these main interviews, right? The
Mhm.
question structure, the whatever the expecting questions, right? Those will be same only.
Mhm.
Same means the similar, I can say, not same, the similar way.
Similar.
1 or 2 questions may be different, but most of the questions are similar only. So that way I used to get most of the questions as I mentioned, right? So first of all, my profile is for automation testing. So
Mhm.
then they are starting asking this Selenium, Java OOPS concepts mainly. Mainly they are asking OOPS concepts, how we are implementing these OOPS concepts in the Selenium. So that way, and the basics of the Java or C sharp program. So they are
Mhm.
asking, and string programs they are asking,
Mhm.
and the string, we have these patterns, right? They
Mhm.
are asking these patterns as well. And in the Selenium they are asking, like here and there they were asking to, let's say they're giving in the screenshot. And also remember, don't expect for only audio questions. These days everybody asking to share the screen, and they would like to know the real time experience they are having, like or not. So that way we need to prepare. So they are sharing the screen, and they are giving some scenario, like log into this page, and drop down, select drop down. We have some we have navigate to this page. They're giving like 5 to 6 instructions. We have to automate there only. Even coming to the program, we have to write the code. So the actual output also we will be expecting there itself. So
Mhm.
likewise, the interviews are happening now, not only audio.
Okay.
In that way, so if you practice something, we have to do hands-on with the inspecting, right, initial to the inspecting of elements to
Mhm.
coming to the output. So that way we need to prepare. Let's say, and in the Selenium we also getting the questions like framework.
Mhm.
In the framework, like majorly they are asking, how did you design your framework? What are the different types of design patterns you have?
Mhm.
And like if you take test ng, or and they're expecting cucumber as well. Most they're expecting BD or BDD. They are expecting, if they have, if we have the good knowledge of the BDD, it is more and fine.
Okay.
Not only just the normal framework. So that way they are expecting these days. If you don't know the BDD, if you know only the framework, if you explain briefly that one also, it is more fine for them. They are not exactly, if you have the BDD only, they'll take you no. So whatever you are explaining, explain with confidence. So that way. And one more in the Selenium, like the what are the different the different items you will be using to design the basic framework.
Mhm.
That way they are asking, they are expecting in the Selenium each and every functionality, like screenshot, reports, Excel reading, and everything, selecting iframes and using JavaScript executor also. Let's say they're asking the send keys, I mean to pass the any information in the text box, right? We'll be using send keys.
Same
They'll
case.
also ask how you will be dealing with this with the JavaScript executor.
Okay.
So such way, because with the JavaScript executor, almost we can handle everything in Selenium, right?
Mhm.
So that way we have to prepare. Some they are asking the code actually, like we are having weights. So just write the code for a WebDriver weight and implicit weight, and what are the differences we have in that. So majorly they were asking these questions. And coming to the APIs, what is API? Not like that questions, but we should have an info like what exactly API. So then they are asking like what exactly you're verifying. So we have to like response code and response time and the response for each and every response code. Just we have to remember, right? This 200 and 400, 201. So we have to remember actually. If we have the hands on, it is okay. We will be remembering, but some we might not get while we are executing, right? So such things we have to remember. So before you have to give any API interest, we have to be prepared with that. And for the SQL also I'll be getting questions like joinings, left join, right join. These questions I was getting like select, using select. How do you insert? How do you update? The basic questions only in the SQL, because we are not doing the database testing. If you are into database testing, you have to be more knowledge in that. So that way.
Right.
Yeah, so these many types of questions we will be getting, and I've cleared almost like in 2 months I have cleared like 6 to 7 companies. I
Okay.
have
Yes.
cleared 6 to 7, like TCS I have cleared, and some Guyana Solutions and
Mhm.
Anblix and Signity and the Nest Technologies we have, and some are I having, but yeah, I have limited this time. I have decided one company. I mean, it's still we have to be. So that way I got like in total of 3 months I cracked the interviews. I
Okay, great.
the way I have mentioned, I
Mhm.
planned this way and I've cleared. Yeah.
Absolutely. That is, so I'm so happy to hear that you have got almost 3 months you took for preparation, and then you have got the fruits of your hard work, right? So, is it
Yeah,
possible
yeah.
for you to tell which questions were asked in which company, right? Let's say if you take an example
Oh,
of TCS, so which questions you got and how many rounds were there
yeah.
simultaneously? Hmm.
Yeah. So in the thesis, I had 2 rounds of interview. So
Mhm.
in the first round of interview, they asked like this arrays we have read arrays using arrays. Some questions they have asked, and the strings also using string. Also they have asked some pattern they asked, and
Mhm.
in the Selenium, coming to the Selenium, they asked different types of functionality.
Mhm.
Like said the selecting drop down, iframe handling, and screenshot Excel. So these things they have asked in the first round of interview.
Mhm.
And the next round of interview, they ask like overall like the, my capabilities, my roles and responsibilities. We have to clearly say our roles and responsibilities, so that there only they'll be getting know what exactly we are doing and what we know as part of testing. So with that, and overall like the Selenium framework, how did you design? I mean, if something comes new, how would you be able to handle? So that questions I have got in the TCS.
Mhm.
And in the Amlix also the same, but they are like mostly asked me oops concepts.
Okay.
So they are asked me to relate the oops concepts with the Selenium framework which I implemented, and the differences we have like abstraction interface. What is the difference? What is the encapsulation and abstraction differences we have? So
Mhm.
the polymorphism. If we take method overloading, method riding, what is the differences? The polymorphism. Why we couldn't handle this multi-level, multiple inheritance. So
Mhm.
that way they'll be going in detail, and then in the second round side, so they are actually tested the coding knowledge, like using the string and arrays and collections also, list and set we have, right? So those they have asked many questions, the differences actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so the hash map, hash set, we just have the knowledge, we did not use. If we don't use properly, if you say no, they don't ask. If you say yes, they'll be asking more questions. It depends on your capability of that, what you're letting coming out from your answer. So that
Okay.
way it
Okay.
depends majorly. If you say yes, they'll be going more. If you're confident, say yes. If you're not confident, say no. There is no hiding in the interview perspective. What I feel is, if you know something, because if you say yes and if you can't answer no, they'll be thinking like you don't have any confidence. So that way I'll be going to my questions actually. That way only I used to give the interviews.
Mhm.
And next company like Guyana also, they in this I got like some different types of questions, like in the what I can say, this aptitude we'll be having, right? So the different types of one glass take, they asked me to divide something.
Mhm.
Three, five balls we have. Some kind of questions I got actually. Only one question, but that is different question I got from all these companies, I feel.
Okay.
I mean, the immediate logical thinking, whether you have or not. So that way they gone through. And also again, this oops concepts only, they are having lots of questions actually. With that
Mhm.
questions only, I got to know more. I got more knowledge actually. Okay, this way also we can, and this constructor we have, right? So in the constructor also, we had so many questions, like different types of constructors. So
Mm.
what is constructor? So how you have used in your framework? So that way I got questions in this. And this next, we have the 3 rounds actually. So in the first round, they are almost, they have categorized, as I said, like manual testing, Selenium, C Sharp, SQL, API. Because we are mentioned, first of all, also we have to make sure that whatever we include in our resume,
Mm.
first of all, because I don't, I mean, uh, as a person, we don't know you, right? We'll be seeing
Mm.
only the resume. So we have to be crisp and short in the, we have to only mention whatever we know in the resume. Apart from that, if you mention, if you ask, if you don't answer, there only will be coming to know that is, I mean, something is hiding. That way, we'll get some bad impression.
Correct.
So first of all, we have to make a resume in a way that, first of all, you also have to go through your resume first, what you have
Mhm.
written, so that they'll be going through those topics only in the project roles and responsibility. They'll be going through your resume. So there I got like they have given some steps actually. Log into this application and do some navigation over here, do click somewhere, do handling this pop-up. So
Mm.
they're given some 6 steps, and I have to, there only I have to inspect the element, and with the screen share only I had to do this. So that way they have asked, and the Selenium framework only they asked more questions. Like in the C we have the spec flow, right? The basic questions. If I say yes and the BDD, they asked me some basic questions in the step. What is the background scenario? They'll not ask like what is the background scenario. They'll not be asking direct questions. So they'll be mentioning like when we have the repeated scenario, what you will do in the BDD. So
Okay.
that way, when you have the more example, how do you use? So that way, then we have to answer reverse questions actually, not the exact questions we get in the BDD or
Mm.
whatever application. I mean, that a topic we take. So that way, I had a questions in there, and the security as well. I had the same questions, like because after having these many, I have an idea actually what the interview is expecting. So that way we have to give them more interviews, so that we'll
Mm.
get more knowledge and we'll be more confident. I felt that.
Correct.
Let's say if we have the tomorrow also interview without preparation, also we can attend the interview. So that
Right.
knowledge we got after I mean attending these many interviews, I feel.
Absolutely. So after
Yeah.
giving interviews, you'll have a knowledge and you will have confidence level as well. To what level?
Confidence mainly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true. That happens.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
also we have to prepare one Excel.
Excel file. Okay. So
Yeah.
is it possible to share your screen and show us the Excel file that you had prepared?
It's in my laptop.
Okay, you have
I
not
was
joined from
informed.
laptop. You have joined from
Yeah,
phone.
I
Okay,
joined from, yeah.
no issues. So later on you can send that Excel so that we can share.
Uh,
Okay, no issues. Okay, Mansa.
yeah.
So how many jobs did you apply every day? Were you continuously applying every day for 1 hour or half an hour, or what was your approach in applying for jobs?
Yeah, so in the Naukri, I used to open daily.
Hmm.
And let's say whatever it is, manual testing or automation testing, in my initial days, I used to apply every job, whatever. I mean, by seeing the company and the job description, if it is matches, no, I definitely apply. There sometimes my job applies exceed as well. That Naukri would be saying that you have exceeded applying the job.
Hmm.
So that way I used to do, because if I apply 50, at least I'll get 20, 10 in that, because we will be getting the cars, but they may type more, right? They might take more time to get back to us. So that's the reason I used to apply. I mean, how much I can, I used to apply for all the companies and all the jobs, so that at least I'll be getting 10 calls in a day. In that, only 5 will be there ready to take the interview. It is like that. If we just sit and like the 10 interviews, I mean 10 jobs, if we apply, if we expect, no, we
Hmm.
have to continuously apply, and we have to, sometimes we also need to send some emails as well. and they'll be mentioning, right? So for the immediate response, so like that we have to continuously participate in this process until we get the proper knowledge and the success, whatever I can say. That way I used to follow Naukri and the jobs. Mainly I followed Naukri. LinkedIn, I used to check for the job company profiles and all. So with that, we'll be getting some knowledge because we are not aware of all the things, right? So
Mhm.
that way,
Okay.
yeah.
Issues. Yeah. So thank you so much, Mansa, for sharing your success story. I am definitely sure, I'm 100% sure that this kind of experience that you shared with the people, they would be taking advantage of this and they would be getting a job, their dream job very soon in their lives. Right. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mansa, for coming on our channel. Yeah. And
yeah. Thank
anything
you so
else you
much.
would like to add?
Yeah, and I would like to thank you so much, Rakesh, because I learned so much from your videos in the manual testing and automation, different types of questions, right? I
Mm.
learned so much from your videos, I can say. Thanks for that. I mean, thanks for you too. I mean, for sharing these things to the people who, because with this only we came to know we had some knowledge actually how the interviews will be. So you're giving that knowledge apart from your work. That is a good work, I can say. Really.
No, no, it's our pleasure, and I'm so obliged that my videos actually help you. So thank you so much,
Yeah, yeah.
and all the best for your career. Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you, Rakesh.